Struggling.
Welcome back. She's a champion for single mothers struggling to make ends meet. She's walked in their shoes and knows firsthand the difficulties single moms face. Through her foundation, 88 Blessings, she is giving back by paying it forward. And among her own blessings are 2 successful grown sons. And we welcome the CEO of 88 Blessings, Erica Wilson, to the show. She's joined by Quakita Anderson, Public Relations Director for 88 Blessings. Welcome, ladies.
Welcome, welcome.
So excited to have you.
Y'all
Let's have you
88
back.
out. Oh, yes.
Right?
Oh, I
Looking
like that.
good.
Very nice.
Thank you.
All right, so Erica, you are a mom, like we said, to 2 successful sons. Daryl Wilson is a business owner and COO. You gave him a legit position in his 88 Blessings. And then, of course, Jacksonville Jaguar wide receiver Alan Hearns. Just big Jags fan. Very excited. Great player. So would you consider Daryl and Alan to be your biggest accomplishments as a single mother?
Outside of giving my life to Christ, yes.
Amen.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So
sorry.
what, as far as, I mean, just a little backstory, because we've had you on the show before, but kind of tell us how 88 Blessings came to be, from your journey as a single mother to now the foundation.
Okay, Quakita's going to handle that one.
So in regards to how 88 Blessings came to be, Miss Erica felt it in her spirit that it was a way to reach out to other single moms who had gone through the struggles of life, raising their children on their own with no or little support, or not knowing what direction, but just trying to keep them safe, keep them out of the streets and in trouble, and make them successful young men.
Do you have one story that you can share, though? Maybe somebody in particular that you've really helped or supported or guided or motivated?
Oh, yes, definitely. Her name is Nakesa Barnhill. Her son was murdered a couple of years ago. I think he was like 2, the age of 2.
Oh my
And
gosh.
when I got the inbox and someone told me to reach out to her and told me her story, I was like, my God, how do I handle this? How do I speak to her? So when I called her and we were talking, I mean, God just led the conversation. She was bawling on the phone. I think I was bawling, but I had to take control. And ever since then, I took her up under my wing, and she has been nothing but less of amazing.
Oh, my.
And she's really, like, she's around the sisterhood now. Someone that, you know, we love on her, we talk to her, we do things with her and the kids, you know, and that story right there just touched my life.
Struggling.
Well,
Hey, hey, you live here with your girl from It Had to Happen with Erica Wilson. We have here remotely today with us Nakesa Barnhill. She's the author and an activist. How are you, Nakesa?
I'm good and yourself.
What's been going on today? How's everything been?
Today has been a wild day. From the rain to doing laundry to running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Just everything today.
Oh my God, but here you, huh?
Yeah, but it happened. We made it.
Oh, yes, it did. And you're looking so beautiful. I love the eye makeup. You go, girl. Did you do it?
No, my best friend Aisha did. She got me
Oh,
together.
well, Aisha did a great job. Oh my goodness. Whoop, whoop. All right. Is Aisha, you said? All right, Aisha, got my girl looking good. I'm loving it. All right, let's go into tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am 23. Well, no, 24. I just celebrated a birthday. Always forget that. I'm a newly divorced woman. I'm an activist.
Really?
Yes. Free.
Oh my God.
I'm an activist. I stand against all types of injustices, and I stand against filicide, which is when a parent kills their child. I'm a mother. I'm a 2-time self-published author. I'm working on my 3 other projects, one of which is a collaboration with one of my closest friends, fiance, soon-to-be wife, and just trying to stay focused and positive to get the goals of filicide awareness out there, as well as to stand strong and make a difference in this world.
Okay, I did hear you say that you were a 2-time author, correct? Am I correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, can you tell the audience the title of your book and how they can get it?
Yes. The first one is The Act of Filicide, the Amari Barnhill story. And that one is available on Amazon for the Kindle version as well as the physical book. And the second one, which was released the end of 2019, was Heaven Didn't Wait, the grieving, surviving, and
Take your time.
goodness, I'm forgetting the third thing.
It's okay. It's okay. Well, we know. I mean, how can we, if we want to purchase your book, if the audience would like to purchase your book, can you please tell us how we could go about purchasing it again?
Yes, they're both available through Amazon. You can type in my name, Nakesa Barnhill, as well as you can type in the names of like the title of the books themselves. But
Okay. As the audience probably don't know, I know you mentioned it in the earlier part of the conversation about filicide, which was something new to me as well when I learned about it. Can you just kind of go a little bit into what filicide is and, um, what made you write this book?
definitely, because it is something people like look at me like, what's filicide? Hello.
Yes.
So filicide is a topic that I learned about in 2015 when my son was brutally murdered by his biological dad, and it was also in the presence of his then girlfriend. And I was 19 at the time, with a 2-month old. I just had my daughter Ella, and life drastically changed. I was having to plan the funeral of my 2-year-old child who was about to turn 3, as well as to continue raising a little girl who would now be a bereaved sibling and me a teen bereaved mother. And that turned into a 2-year process in order to go to court 2 to 3 times a month, fighting for justice for Amari. And it became such a passion, and where I felt so lonely to where I sought other people who could connect with me on that type of level and we can have that type of bond. So I looked to find out where I was belonged at that point. Like, who can I connect to? Who can I reach out to? Who can help me better understand this weird phenomenon that I just randomly got placed into and shoved into for this lifestyle? And so
Right.
with researching, I found out that it was in fact called filicide, and that there are plenty of other cases that happen, and Amari just happened to be a case that happened in 2015.
Wow. And, I was watching TV today and the Tamron Hall show. She had a young lady on there where the young lady actually was told she couldn't get pregnant, got pregnant at the age of 39, and then got divorced after I think the child was 7 years old. And the father murdered the daughter. She was 7 years old. And I'm just like, oh my God, like, are you kidding me? Like, this is where our topic is going to be today. So, this is happening a lot. I mean, maybe it's not talked about a lot, but it's definitely happening. So, I just want you, if you feel comfortable enough, just walk us through the day of how he ended up to his dad's home.
So he was with his dad for 10 days before he officially was pronounced dead. I dropped him off to his grandmother's house, his paternal grandmother's house. It was me, my infant, and my mother and him. And we dropped him off. He didn't really want to leave. He started crying and everything. I was just thinking it was because he didn't have that much of a relationship or bond with his father. But I still went ahead. I wanted him to have a relationship with him. This was going to be his longest time being away from me and being with his father. And it was also supposed to be his younger sister's birthday weekend or celebration that he was supposed to be a part of. So I was like, okay, I'll go ahead. We're going to try to work this out. I'm doing a new step in my life. I just gave birth to a new baby. I might as well take the help if you're offering it.
Right.
So fast forwarding to 10 days later, his father calls me, and it's the morning after. We were already on the phone the night before. And during that conversation, I agreed to take him off of child support. He agreed to start watching him more. He was asking me, could he extend his visit? And I'm just like, no, I miss my child. Like, I really want to talk to him. And he continued to make excuses saying that Amari was asleep. And I'm just like, well, that doesn't really make sense. I can hear your daughters in the background, but okay. So in the wee hours of the morning of Wednesday, November 11th.
Let me stop you for a minute. So you say you spoke to the dad the night before and
Yes,
you
ma'am.
asked to speak to Amari, and you were denied the fact, he basically said that he was sleeping, so you could not talk to him. So
Yes.
did you feel like something was wrong then?
Yes. At that point, I was telling my friends I would never send him back. This is not how our communication is supposed to work. Like, I felt something was definitely wrong, and God deals with me in dreams, and I couldn't shake it. I just kept dreaming weird dreams about how Amari would pass. And so it was just like, okay, this is weird. And not anything that a new mom wants to be thinking about, but okay.
Right.
So yeah, I think he was trying to prepare me for the unpreparable.
Jesus. Okay, so you get the call the following morning.
Yes, that was
And
Wednesday, November the 11th of 2015. And he continued to beat around the bush and make excuses saying, well, something's wrong with Amari. He doesn't know what, saying that he didn't have him that night, that his mother and one of his sisters, the one that I knew and was close with, kind of, that they had him, and that I just needed to rush to the hospital. And so I'm trying to still find out more answers, going back and forth with him, yelling at him, like, what do you mean? This doesn't make sense. And so I'm freaking out at that point. I hang up with him. I start calling my family, trying to get a ride to the hospital, and get there just to wait 2.5 hours. They told me I couldn't see him. I'm just like going back and forth with the nurses and the aides, that he's a minor. Why am I not allowed to see my child? Even though I'm a minor too. Technically,
right.
I want to see my child. Like, this should not be legal. This should not be allowed. I don't know what's going on. Who y'all think y'all are? I want to see my child. Like, I gave birth to him. I need to see him and lay eyes on him and know he okay.
Wow.
And then the sister that he said that had Amari came in when my mom holding my daughter also came in. So we were sitting there and waiting, and then they finally came in and took us to a little room, and we were in Wolfson Children's Hospital. And we went to the little room to the side, and the first question out of his sister's mouth was, is Amari dead?
What?
I wasn't prepared for that in any way, shape, or form. So I just look at her, and then I look at him, and his whole demeanor changed. Like, his aura just completely shifted. Like, he wasn't expecting it either, but he didn't want to answer. So he couldn't even actually say the words. He just looked down and shook his head no. And I let out a crazy scream that I never want to scream again. And then a subsequent fight broke out between me and his sister, because I blamed her, because it's like, well, your brother just said he was with you, and how you mean he dead? It didn't make sense, and nobody could
But
make
at
it.
this time, though, you didn't even know that
Something in
he had done
I
something in
didn't
your
know.
spirit was telling.
I didn't know any specifics, but I did not feel in any way, shape, or form that it was an accident, because a completely healthy, happy, normal, whole 2-year-old cannot just go from healthy, happy, alive to cold, lifeless, and dead in 10 days.
Jesus. Wow. Okay. So now I think I'm kind of stuck. Okay. Walk me back to the part where, she said, "Is he dead?" And the response from dad was no.
No,
But
this is the
something in, I'm sorry?
at this point, I didn't know, but his dad was already being arrested at that point. As soon as we got off the phone, when he lied to me, he was being arrested.
Are you kidding me? So you said you guys were in a room, right? So in that room, you said that the sister asked, "Was he dead?" And dad said no, but something in your spirit told you like something's not right. So
No,
once you found,
we're talking to a nurse.
oh, you're talking to a nurse. Okay, and the nurse said no.
Yes, ma'am.
The nurse told you your baby wasn't dead, and and actually in reality, he was dead at that time.
Yes, he was already gone. He was found dead on their floor, on the living room
Jesus.
floor. He was lifeless and half naked on the floor.
Okay. So you and the sister gets into a, I'm kind of choked, so just take over. You and the sister get into a heated argument, which led into a fight.
It wasn't
Um,
words. It wasn't no words. It was straight into a fight. Honestly, I was
really?
gonna go because I nothing in me could make that make sense.
Right.
And she looks like him, so it's like I took my anger towards and my confusion in that situation out on her and my hurt, because it's like
Hmm.
at the end of the day, I don't understand what's going on. And so we get into the brawl. Security comes and picks her up and takes her out. I'm still sitting in the hospital. At this point, I'm starting to have to, one, tell my mom, who was trying to break us up, why I ended up jumping on the sister and why she was trying to break us up. And I literally jumped on her again because when we were fighting, my mom was trying to break us up, but she was holding Ella's car seat and it started shaking. So it was, in my head, I'm like, well, y'all just killed one. Are you trying to kill the other?
Right.
So at that point, I'm having to explain to her. My mom starts crying and it's like, well, Jesus, this is unexpected. Like, wait, you mean he's gone? And
Right.
at this point, they told me I still couldn't see him because he was classified as evidence since they brought him into the hospital. And I didn't even see him for a subsequent 3 more days, until
Jesus.
he was already at the mortuary and he was getting prepared for his wake. And
So it took you 3 days to see your baby?
yes, ma'am, I was only able to identify him through the video screen when we went to the mortuary to identify his body. I wasn't able to go see, or that, like physically see him until 3 days after, because they wanted to clear me as a suspect and everything. I got questioned and all of that, as well as they opened a DCF case with me, as well as his dad's girlfriend, and their 2 daughters who were present for their brother's brutal murder. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Uh, uh, mm. What was the cause of death?
Whew. Internal bleeding and basically a heart attack. A 2.5-year-old suffered a heart attack.
Wait a minute. Hold on. Jesus. You said your baby had a heart attack?
It's
My God. Have mercy, Jesus. We have Katima saying, "My God, my God, my God, bless you, Nakesa." Um, I'm choked up, I'm telling you, and this kind of never happened, even though I kind of sort of knew. the story, but I didn't hear in details like I'm listening now, guys. We This is Nakesa Barnhill, who lost her son, Amari Barnhill, at the age of 2. She just told us he had internal bleeding as well as a heart attack. A 2-year-old had a heart attack. It took her 3 days to actually lay eyes on her baby once he had expired. Um, the day before, you said, was the day before his wake is when you were able to see him.
Yeah, no, the day of his wake.
The day of the wake is the day you got to see him.
Yes, ma'am.
My God. We also have Erica Lee, which is my Gotti. She says she's so sorry, sweetie. My God. Keela Hicks, thank you guys for your comments. She says, right, she's speechless. You know, I don't think that the world know anything about this because I'm telling you, Nakisa, when I got that phone, well, that inbox to reach out to you, um, I was at a loss for words because I'm like, God, like, how do I handle this one? You know, I'm a single mom. I mean, I couldn't even imagine losing one of mine. You know, how do I handle this, God? And so when I called you and we got to talking, I knew it was nobody but God because He basically took over that conversation. Because I'm telling you, I didn't have any words. I didn't know what to say to you. I didn't want to come on crying. I didn't want to say I'm sorry. You know, not that I'm sorry, but I didn't want to say that I understand how you feel because I don't. You know, I never experienced anything like that. But I want you to just go ahead and tell the audience, walk the audience. You're 19 years old, first of all. You're 19 years old. You have a 2-month old, and you just lost your 2-year old. Now you have to go through the process of burying your child. What was going through your head? Did you have a support system that was there with you? Like, how did you deal with that, honey?
Only God,
Mm,
honestly and truly, because my family was there, but majority of my family doesn't really live in Jacksonville, so they were
mm-hmm.
there through social media or trying to check up on me through social media, and
Wow.
it was definitely difficult with being that age, just having a new baby, her dad being in Japan, um, who is now my ex-husband, working through our issues, trying to
Yeah.
comprehend the whole process of a funeral. I've only ever been a part of a funeral briefly, and that's because of like my grandparents, and that was being a minor, so I didn't really understand the process. But thankfully, I was able to get through it with like my mom and my grandmother and my uncles. They were really great at the support system for that, especially through that time.
Mm. I mean, my heart goes out to you once again. I just want you to, what was Dad's charges?
Originally or finally?
Original, start off from the original.
The very first day when it hit the news and it was all over the news that a toddler was found beaten to death in Hollybrook Apartments, it was just child abuse and child neglect because they hadn't done the autopsy yet. Then the very next day is when he got charged with all four charges of violating probation, of being at his girlfriend's house, which is where my son died, and I did not know he was there on the west side. That was also a
Mm-hmm.
shock to me that I found out at the hospital,
Wow.
because they had a domestic situation themselves, and my son should have never been there, as well as his father.
Mm-hmm.
Then the second charge, well, the next two charges was again the child abuse, child neglect, and the final charge was second-degree murder of Amari Rayshawn Barnhill.
Wow. And how much time did he get?
Fast forwarding to the final charge, he was only charged with second-degree murder because he took a plea deal. He was only given
Okay.
25 years, so he gets out
Wow.
in 2029. I'm sorry, 2039.
Wow. Hearing that, what did that? How did that make you feel to hear that he only was sentenced to 25 years? Here it is. He'll get another shot at life, but your son will never get another shot at life.
Exactly. It's like my son's life didn't matter. And I started to question the justice system. Like, well, is this because I'm a teen mom? Is it because I was a statistic and I didn't give him the best life that he could have? I started to really blame myself and question, like, well, if this was a Caucasian little boy, would it have been more? If it was just the stepdad or like a black dude that ended up killing him? It was very confusing and angry time for me because it made me feel like my son had no value because he
Well,
gets
that
another
you know
chance.
is a lie. You know that he had much value. It's just that at a time like that, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just want to let you know that your son had much value. Um, oh, Jesus, have mercy. Your son had much value as well as yourself. Some things are out of our control. You left him in the hands of his father, which we would think that nothing will happen if we leave our kids with other, especially a father, the other parent, mother, father,
Yep.
the other parent. So you did nothing wrong, but did what you thought was right and allowing him to be a part of your son's life. So that I do want you to know. But I kind of want you to walk us through the final day when, after the sentencing, did they allow you to speak, to say anything to him?
You were breaking out. I didn't hear.
I say at his sentencing, did they allow you to say anything to him?
Yes, I read a victim impact statement in open court.
Wow. And were you able to look at him and kind of like let him know how much like you really meant this? Because I know when I speak to people and I have meaning behind what I'm saying and I want them to feel what I'm saying, I like to eyeball people. Were you able to do that, or you just basically looked down and read what you had to read?
Well, in court, because he took the plea deal, everything was done in one day. Like, they read the charges. His attorney was doing all the talking. He didn't speak at all. And standing at the podiums, they all faced towards the judge. So I was on the plaintiff's side, and he was on the other side, whatever, however it went. Either way, he was on
Okay.
the opposite side of the room. And his
But you got the point across.
attorney was standing on the side.
Right. Oh my God. Like, again, guys, we are here with Nakesa Barnhill. She is an activist. She's a author, a two-time author, getting ready to be a three-time author. Guys, please do support her. She has two books that's out. She said you could get it on where?
Amazon. And I have the other book because I couldn't remember the title.
And what was it? Can you tell the audience what it is?
Heaven Didn't Wait, Grieving, Surviving, and Healing Post the Loss of a Child. That's basically my full journey. It's more so my story. The first one is more so Amari's story. And
Mm-hmm.
this book is explaining like my lost language, well, grief language.
Mm-hmm.
The past 5 years of my life, of going from 19 to now 24, having an almost 5-year-old daughter, the process of enrolling her in school, how I'm fearful of letting her around other people. It
Mm-hmm.
explains a lot about myself and this process because it's definitely different. And I'm living life, man.
Oh my God,
It's
guys,
like the
please do support her and purchase her book. She's not only the author, but she published her own book as well. Nakisa, I am so, so very proud of you and the woman that you've become and all that you're doing. Continue to share awareness about this because it's something that we do not hear about a lot. I mean, I don't want to kind of like stay stuck there on the murder because I want you to tell the audience how God allowed you to be a mother to one of his sons and the good times that you guys shared. Can we get some of those memories?
Definitely. He was an epic, awesome big brother. He was only a month away from 3 and was opening doors for his mama, trying
Ooh.
to he was the most charismatic thing ever. He was too adorable. He had been here before. Definitely.
Oh my God. Like the old folks say, this
he
baby done been here before.
he even one night, it was shortly after I gave birth to his sister. I was extremely tired, aggravated, everything, and she was crying because she wanted to feed, and I was nursing. So him
Okay.
being him, he literally picked her up, brought her to me, realized like, okay, mommy's tired or whatever. And so he literally got her back. He didn't have on a shirt. He squeezed his little pack and tried to feed his sister. And I have that picture.
Oh
And
my
it's
God.
so funny. Like,
Wait, did you say he tried to feed his sister?
yes, Ella's face was like, this is not right. This don't taste right.
And that, you know what? That's why I like to tell people, like, listen, you think kids don't be paying attention and they don't know? These kids, they watch everything and they pick up on everything and they mimic a lot that we do. So that's why we got to be so careful what we do around our kids. But oh my God, that is too funny. Like, what did you do when you saw that?
I just bust out laughing, took the picture.
Oh my God, that is, oh my goodness, wow. He really tried to feed us. He said, I'm going to take care of my sister. Mommy's tired right now, and mommy need her rest. So I'm going to let her get her rest, and I'll go ahead and I'll take care of my little sister. And that's Miss Ella Bella. Miss Ella Bella, she's a handful. She's a little diva herself, a little princess. Such a cutie, guys. How old is she now, Nakesa?
She will be 5 September 7th, and I'm not ready.
What? It's been that long? Oh my goodness.
It has.
Wow, you guys are getting old. But know that God don't make any mistakes. We don't understand why things happen, the way they happen, how they happen, but we all know that it had to happen. Um, so out of that, you happen to walk that journey. Um, we now know what the journey was. And we also heard the pain as well that you had to endure. But tell the audience, because you and I, we know, tell the audience how we met. I did speak about it briefly when I got the inbox, but I'm going to give that to you.
Well, we met. Shoot, I don't even remember who contacted you about me, but we met shortly after I had. I believe it was like the day after. No, it was the actual day that he got. He took his plea deal. That's the day that we met.
Are you
And
serious?
it was right after we left court. That's why Brianna was with me.
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Look, I didn't, oh my God, I didn't even remember that. But yes, ma'am.
I was. Hey, why was I so happy that day?
I remember you coming. I think we had a
It was like a
volunteer,
little brunch.
yeah, a volunteer appreciation brunch for our volunteers. And you told me you were coming by. We spoke on the phone before, but and you told me you were coming by, and that was going to be my first time actually meeting you. And I didn't know what to say. I didn't know. All I knew is I just wanted to love on you, just hug you. So, what was that like meeting not just me, but others that was a part of the 88 Blessings organization? Did they make you feel welcome? Were you comfortable? Can you just walk us through that?
Yes, I felt welcomed. I felt loved. It was awesome. And seeing
Mhm.
everybody and taking on pictures. It was very fun, and it was very much what I needed in that moment of feeling loved and surrounded by people that were happy and excited about life, especially on a day like that. Like it felt like.
Did I lose you? Are you still there?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear you. Could you repeat that? I'm sorry.
I said it felt like a win. It was definitely good to have had a day like that with other people that were positive and happy.
Yeah. And I remember our picnics in the park. Boy, were those the days, right? I know that we're going to share a couple of photos right now of us actually being in the park playing. And that was one of the things I like to tell people as far as about the CEO and the brand ambassador of the organization, that we're like heavily involved. And that day, you guys had me out there playing football.
You was
Oh my
gifted.
God. Listen, what you
Okay,
say? I didn't hear
I
you.
said I was definitely. You could have that. You was having fun. You was out there getting it.
Listen, I was so sore the next day, but I'm telling you, I had such a great time with the kids out there. And that was something like, we used to have our little picnics in the park. Everybody bring up it was like a potluck. Everybody bought a dish and we just go out there and we just have a good time. But girl, when I got out there to play football with those kids, I was like, okay, Alan, after a while, I say, it's on you. No, I couldn't deal. But I know you guys see the beautiful Ella Bella on the screen now. She used to be the life of the party. Okay. She didn't want anybody touching Alan. She just wanted to be her and Alan. Okay. So, but I also um for our second, I believe, all white gala, you came and you had such an amazing time that night. And I must say, very beautiful, very, very beautiful. We both experienced something that night. And I think it was like heart wrenching because sometimes when we think that we basically over something, sometimes it can resurface. And that night, I remember after um, the young lady Kamari had prayed for me, it's just like God just took off and he had his way, and it was just that. And I remember the picture that we took. You laid your hand on my stomach. I remember that. And I'm sure that is up on the screen right now. And when you laid your hand on my stomach, I don't know if you knew what you was doing for me at that time. I'm going to speak to you about that in private, but I don't know that you knew what you was doing for me that time. But at the end of the night, I think we both just had a moment where we had to be put in our cars and we just had to just wail because we both probably was just, I mean, things were resurfacing. And again, like I said, sometimes we think that we got over it or we're over it. Sometimes God said, you got to deal with this, and you're dealing with your son's murder. I'm dealing with um, my rape at the age of 10. And it just went from there. And God had his way that night. And I just thank God for you. I'm tearing up, guys. Sorry. I just thank God for you because that's something. Um, I watch you, Nakesa, with your daughter, and I see the mother that you are. And it really touches me because a lot of times young mothers, their kids, especially when they're young, they don't know how to basically give their child that love and affection because they're still trying to find themselves. But I never saw that in you. I saw you always loving on your daughter, giving your daughter the best, making sure that you read to her, teach her things, like really like spending time with her. And parents need to know how important that is to put that type of time into your children. And I'm going to rewind a little bit when you said that she's getting ready to go to school and you kind of having a fit about it because you don't really want to leave your child with anybody. I can understand that. I can attest that. because that's how I was with my children. But one thing we have to know and trust is we know the God that we serve, and we know that He's not going to allow anything to happen to our babies. We have to keep that faith and keep our eyes on Him and block out the negative. Anytime those negative thoughts seem to try to creep in, we have to know how to rebuke them and send them back to the pits of hell, because we know who we are and who we belong to. So now we done heard your journey, we done heard your pain. What is your purpose in life, Nakesa? Do you know it?
Wait, I'm sorry. The last part.
I said, we heard your journey, we heard your pain. What is your purpose in life?
Whew, okay, that's a loaded question. I
You
found
can
that
handle it, girl.
my, my purpose to be a voice for a community that doesn't really like to have a voice, because most
Mm,
people are shamed and ashamed of themselves. And I've learned that a lot of people kind of look down on you, or like, well, why did you choose to have a baby with them? And be judgmental in ways. And it's like, yes, I lost my son. Yes, I choose to speak about him and he died and everything that happened. And I'm not ashamed. Yes,
that's
that
right.
happened to me. Yes, it hurts every day. But I'm still an amazing woman, an amazing
That's
mother,
right.
and I do what I need to do
Mhm.
for the one that I have remaining.
Exactly. And sometimes we can't, I mean, people can ask some of the darnest questions. And you could be like, oh my God, like what even made you even ask a question like that? Not knowing, maybe they're doing
Formed that,
it, huh?
I
I
said,
didn't
like,
hear
who
you,
formed
honey.
that question in your head?
Right, 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 right. I mean, stop and think about what you're getting ready to ask before you even ask the question. Do you not understand that I am a grieving mother? Do you not understand that I will never be able to lay my eyes on my child again? How dare you ask me that question about who I chose to have a child from? I never thought in a million years that the person that I had a child, I buried a child for, will actually take my son out. Like, how dare you? I mean, come on. Like, I just don't understand. But sometimes in life, we have to look at not the person, but who the person is being used by. And sometimes a lot of the questions don't even deserve a response. You understand that, do you?
Definitely.
You just have to let people be people sometimes, and you choose to deal with whoever you would like, because it's your life, it's your truth. You dealt with it, you're living it. Nobody else is. And you just know that most times when you get those type of comments or questions or funny looks, just to ignore it, and know that, like I said, who you are and who you belong to, because nobody knows your story better than you. And I just thank God that He allowed you to sit here with me today to share with our audience exactly what filicide is, because I'm telling you, I never heard of it before I met you. That was the first time I'm ever hearing of something like that. And again, guys, this is Nakesa Barnhill. She is the author and she's an activist. And she's wanting to bring awareness to these things happening that's not really being spoken about. Like I said, I watched the Tamron Hall show today, and there was a young lady on there. It took her 39 years to have her first child, only for her husband to murder their 7-year-old child. And she said something that was so profound. She said, you don't lose people, they just transform. That speaks a lot of volume, because you know that you always have Amari there watching over you. You gained your own personal angel. Um, he's watching over Miss Ella Bella as well. But it's nothing that I can say to ease the pain. But what I can say is I will always be here for you as long as I have breath in my body, as long as I can love on you, talk to you, nurture you, whatever it is that you may need. I'm just a phone call away. But I want you to be okay. Amanda. Hey, Amanda. Amanda say, thank you for advocating, Nakesa. And she say that was deep. See, again, a lot of people is really now just hearing what filicide is. Because again, a lot of us
That
did
I
not
chose.
know. Huh?
I'm really glad that I chose to speak out, especially from being so young, because recently, not even a week ago, I got connected to this young lady. She just turned 19. And earlier this year in January, her daughter was dropped and beaten to sleep by her dad, her boyfriend. And she was
What?
like, "You're such an inspiration." She reached out to me. Well, I reached out to her on Instagram because a lady contacted me saying that I should watch her Instagram video. And it's like a collage of videos of her daughter. And it was Filicide. So it automatically piqued my interest. So I watched it, and it was just like, well, whoa, okay. And it was
I have
wow. And then
chills.
they shared her story with me, and it was just like, well, okay, I understand. Like, my pain and what I went through wasn't really meant for me. I was strong enough to handle and get through, so I can be here and a motivation to this girl who's now in my exact shoes, but just with a different gender of a child. And she's
Yeah.
like, well, the fact that you're willing and bringing about awareness that you are incredible. And I, most of the stuff I do, I don't think about it as just me doing it. I just do it in honor of Amari because he didn't have
Right.
a chance to name and legacy.
Wow. And you just said something that stuck out. You said that you knew that you had to go through it and you were strong enough to get through it. And we didn't at the time you didn't know why it had to happen, but it had to happen for a time such as this. Look at you. You're going to be a beacon of light for this young lady to kind of help her get through. Nothing can ease the pain, but you can kind of help her to and share with some of the steps on what worked for you to kind of cope with what happened to you guys children, because again, like I said, you don't hear about this much. Like, now this is the third case that I heard about, and then actually I was doing my research and I was looking at the numbers and finding out like how many cases there is, and what's the statistics behind it. I mean, what's the statistics and everything. And I was blown away because again, you do not hear about this. But God has allowed, I don't want to say allowed, but it happened not just for you, but for you to help somebody else. And like you said, the young lady you reached out to, you're gonna help her. You're gonna be, you know, help her move. I'm so caught up in words, y'all, because I'm telling you, I can't even imagine. I can't even fathom, this happening to a baby, like a kid, anybody. How could you murder anybody? How dare you? But Jesus, like you said, you standing for Amari. And one of the things that we know in life, how could you teach somebody how to get through something if you've never been through it? And that's why I started 88 Blessings with the Single Mom Organization. I'm myself a single mom as well as yourself, and you joined our organization. But now you're a grieving mom that's going to help another grieving mom. And I remember, Nakesa, back not too long ago, you actually was honored for something. Could you tell us about that?
Um, about the proclamation.
Yes.
So, even though I wasn't able to really celebrate it or bring awareness about it this year, I hope I'll be able to do it more next year since this whole COVID stuff.
Yeah.
But April is the month of child abuse awareness / prevention. And so, in honor of my son as well as all of the other filicide victims, I took it upon myself to have the second to do the request for the second week of April to be recognized as Filicide Awareness Month. Filicide Awareness Week. and it was approved by the governor of Florida. So,
Whoop,
yay!
whoop.
Next year.
Congratulations.
So I'll
Yep.
be working on getting that into other states as well as hope one day to be globally recognized within the nationally recognized. And yeah.
Yeah, that will come to pass. I remember
For
6 o'clock that morning, I got the text from you and you were so happy. And I jumped up and I'm praising with you because that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to praise with your sisters and your brothers. I mean, audience, do you have any questions for Nakesa? I just want to let you guys know to please follow all of my social media platforms, Erica Wilson, H2H, and also subscribe, comment, and like on my YouTube. It Had to Happen with Erica Wilson. Also, if you would like to purchase my book or book me for one of my shows, please do go to my website at www.ericawilsonih2h.com. Again, we have Nakesa Barnhill here, which is a two-time author, going on three, as well as an activist. And Nakesa, your story, I'm sure, have touched many and brought awareness to so many who's ever listening in and under the sound of our voices. What is the one thing, or maybe two, that you would like to leave the audience with, that mother or that father, that um, those kids that's not in a two-parent, well, they can be in a two-parent home because it happened to the other young lady. What would you like to say to that mother? I'm going to come from a mother point of view because you're a mother. What would you like to say to another mother to kind of like what should she do to kind of like look for the signs or if something is wrong? What would you like to leave with the mother?
Um, I would say you're strong. You can make it, and God got you.
Okay, that's what you would say to the grieving mom, right? If she was to experience what you experienced, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what would you say to that mother though that's um maybe in an abusive relationship? Let's go there because that happens so often. That mother that's in an abusive relationship or may have a step parent in the home. What would you a stepfather in the home and not the actual dad? What would you say to that mother?
Whew, okay. So, um, the young lady that I was telling you about, that's her actual situation and circumstance. And
Wow.
conversation, we haven't had that conversation. So I'll kind of say what I said, and I start to watch this as well. So I hope you know I'm speaking again to you. Had
Yeah.
I known you, this times, and if he's willing to hurt you, he's willing to hurt your child.
Mm.
Be mindful of that. The people and the innocence that actually loves you and is learning love.
Jesus. Guys, that is some powerful information that she just shared with you all. My Pooh said, which is Tisha Williams, she said, Nakesa is such a strong woman. You are showing all of us what being strong look like. Um, Anytime one decides that they want to kind of um, feel like they can't make it, or I mean, at a time like this when we're dealing with the pandemic and so much is fear is setting in to everyone, basically robbing everyone from um, life, because you're sitting, I pray that I don't get this, I pray that it'll never touch my family. I pray that it'll never touch me, and kind of like missing out on the good that is in life. I heard Ileana say today about she named a couple of different fears that we have as people. And especially now with the COVID going around, you can't really do much. You can't really go places. And I had one of our mothers from the SOAR movement say she's so mad with 2020, Nakesa. She said she just saw her, dressing up her baby this year and being able to go to prom and, you know, just so many different things like we're robbed of, but we have to stay strong through. You gotta stay strong. You gotta stay prayed up. You have to have God in your life. And I'm telling you, you showing us what strength looked like. Because I can't even imagine. Is all I can say. I cannot even imagine. But I thank you for coming on today's show, sitting with me, speaking to our audience. I mean, you really shed some light for us because, again, I never heard of this, and I'm sure some of my audience probably, haven't heard of it either, but you have definitely brought awareness. Continue to strive and push and pray and let God lead the way because I know that He has some great things for you. We share so many texts on so many different occasions, and I know the heart you have for the people, for God's people. So you continue to keep on keeping on this journey. You spoke today with us. We do have here Nakesa Barnhill, author, activist, speaking on filicide. Filicide is when one's parent murder their own child. Audience, thank you so much for tuning in with us today. I have something very special that we're doing for the month of August. And guys, my time and days will be changing. It will be on my website as well as my Facebook page. I will post it there, my new dates and times. But starting in the month of August, we have this challenge that's coming up. And today, Nakesa, I'm going to present you with this check. And I'm challenging you to join me in this challenge. And this says God Chosen One. It is $88.17. It is our 88 Blessings in 17 Ways challenge. So, Nakesa, I'm challenging you to join me on this challenge and let's get the ball rolling for the month of August. So, here today, I present you with this check of $88.17.
Yes, I the challenge.
You accept the challenge? Woo, woo. All
Yes, ma'am,
right.
I
Would you
do.
like to challenge anyone? Is there anything that you would like to say?
Yes, I would like to challenge the SOAR shoot the SOAR members as their leaders. They're leaders.
Leaders.
See, I'm sorry, in my head. Um, Joanne White. Who else?
Ooh, Joanne. You said you wanna challenge the SOAR leaders because I barely can hear you. I'm not sure why I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes. There you
So I
go.
would like to challenge.
Guys, I think she's having some technical difficulties with her phone, but she said that she would like to challenge the SOAR
Is
leadership.
that better?
And our SOAR, go ahead.
Hello.
I hear you, but you went
You
out,
can hear
babe.
me?
Yes.
Oh. Hold on. What did I do? I see you.
I can't see you, but I'm gonna go
Can
ahead
you
and
see me?
call out the names because you say you wanna challenge our SOAR leadership, which is Aniska Elliott, Rochelle Bradley, Rue Gomez, Amanda Hernandez, Jantrice Robinson, and of course myself, Erica Wilson. You've been challenged, guys. So look out for the ways that you can pay it forward. We will be sending out a package in the mail concerning this 88 blessings in 17 ways. Guys, thank you so very much for tuning in on today. And please do thank our guest, Nakesa Barnhill. Support her, guys. She's a two-time author. She told you where you could get the book. Even if you would like to inbox her and send her a little words of encouragement. Nakesa, tell us where we can find you on Facebook so we can send letters over to, send words of encouragement to you.
Can you still hear me? I see you. Can you see me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you, babe.
Okay. I don't know what's going on.
Just keep on talking. Go ahead. Just tell us where we can send you words of encouragement.
Yes, Facebook is my name, Nakesa Barnhill, which is my business page as well as my actual Facebook profile name.
Okay, so guys, if you would just like to send Nakesa some words of encouragement to kind of keep her uplifted, please do go to her Facebook page, Nakesa Barnhill. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. We are blessed to have you, Nakesa. I can't wait to have you back again and to start this challenge. Again, guys, if you would like to purchase my book or any bookings, go to www.ericawilsonih2h.com. Follow all of my social media platforms. Not only click like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, It Had to Happen with Erica Wilson. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do have a blessed day.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. I do not own the rights to this music.